Step in to the outside in. I'm your innkeep, E.I. Werner, and it is a rainy day here in New York City. Perfect for early morning writing. We have a really special episode today, episode 07. And you know, in our world, the number 7 hums with a lot of power. We have 7 myths. They have 7-day weeks like we do on Earth as well. So we have 7 myths that create this one myth, as well as the septimal system that we invented, that number system with a base 7 versus decimal, right? Versus decimal, we explained that in Outside In E01. So episode 07, let's make the most out of it. Let's have a great one and sink in. So let's get into it. We got a lot of writing to do today. Be sure to say hello when you join in the morning. Prove that you're up nice and early with us. And just say what's up. What's the day? 18. You can make this a little prettier. And we can italicize these. This should shrink. There you go. Okay, so let's set up some objectives for today. Make sure we're holding ourselves accountable. I like to do that. I usually actually set my writing goals for the next day the night before. That's a big Hemingway thing, setting goal, like ending your previous session with a goal for the next session. So today I want to work on the transition from age 3 to 4 and refine age 6. Okay, so let's get into it. So remember we're writing a cosmic original creation mythology for Earth, and there are 7 poems that constitute it. We start with, a undifferentiated darkness, a void, and then we get a light, and we get ultimately a Big Bang. And now we're here post the Big Bang. For the first thing that I want to work on today, or post the Big Bang, and a sun comes out, and a sun emerges and decides to sacrifice its immortality to create children, right? The planets. And I want to tee us up for the next myth a little bit better. So I'll show you what I'm going to try to work on today. So we have this. Okay, we can just start with age 3. I'll show you the whole thing. It's short. Age 3, a sun. Still, so we're in the center of a black hole. There's a dark seed. It says still. A light loves to be. A light loves to become. At last, a seed shatters. A heat. Its glow obviously expands rapidly as placeholder. A sun shines. I am a sun ablaze, epicenity itself. I come from a seed. My form is fire gold. I am a sun. A sun is beauty. I am dying to bestow 6 children, 6 orbs to behold, beheld. A darkness cannot claim us. And now what I want to tee up is that of the 6 children, only 1 is a daughter, right? So we're getting that tee up for her next step. Okay. So we could go like this: 6 children, a son, a son bestows of itself. 1, unlike her brothers, she, the only daughter of a sun itself. A sun beholds itself glimmering in her sweet waters. 6 children, a son bestows of itself. 1, unlike her brothers, she, the only daughter of a sun itself. A sun beholds itself glimmering in her sweet waters. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I think we can get rid of these highlights now. Six children, a son bestows of itself. I have whatever I'm working on should get larger so you guys can see the language even better. So let me know what you think about that. If you think that's a cool little feature, or if it's distracting, just always open feedback. Still, a light loves to be, a light loves to become. At last, a seed shatters, a heat, its glow. A sun shines. I am a sun ablaze, a obscenity itself. I come from a seed. My form is fire, gold. Maybe it's like this, gold fire. It's gonna have to be consistent then. And those are little things that AI could never do, right? Is it fire gold or gold fire, right? It's a mythic poem. We get to decide. And when we read it out loud, we'll know. It'll hum correctly. It'll hum better one way or the other. And that's something that AI cannot accomplish. It just doesn't understand the rhythm, the cadence of words, and it doesn't understand poetry. It just is incapable of understanding poetry. I am a sun is beauty. I am dying to bestow 6 children, 6 orbs to behold, beheld, a darkness cannot claim us. 6 children, a sun bestows of itself. 1, unlike her brothers, she, the only daughter of a sun itself. A sun beholds itself glimmering in her sweet waters. Really good, really solid. Very solid. Okay, so now what I want to work on today, last episode was called Her Shame, right? And we talked about how Earth beheld the divine, and then she gets ashamed at how perfect the divine is, and that causes her to spin and try to create life. Today we are going to work on, and we ended up going all the way through several myths, tracing how shame ends up resulting in life, tracing how it ends up having this emerging complexity, and ultimately creating her sons, right? And then we ended it with one of them headed away towards good milk, towards sweet milk, and the other one headed away from the salty milk that they were stuck with, and the two brothers are going to collide. And so we got to the end of this one we got to the end of age 5, but last time with the updated shame thoughts, but we did not yet update this one, so we're going back through and we're finishing. We should finish all these myths in like their final form in the next month and a half, 2 months. So this is the final push. On one hand, that it's easier when you can see when the end is in sight. On the other hand, the stuff that's still left is the hardest stuff. The final polish, you know, this is what we're going with. This is what we're going to stand on. This is the business we're going to stand on, and it gets gnarly. So let's get into it. So we have both of them, they're headed in the same direction for an inevitable clash. And the way that we handle clashes is we go clash, a brother and a brother. And we read it with that abruptness because these two opposing forces are hitting each other. And the reason I do it this way is when you say clash, a brother and a brother, the two clash at the same time. So one doesn't clash into the other. They both hit at the same time. Aspire, twist betwixt them. So and aspire in here represents aspiration. There's only one. It's where two people want something and only one person can get it. That's what aspire is called. And if you look here, this myth is called aspire, right? This age. And we have, it's episode 7. We have 7 ages for this myth. So two brothers. So where they clash, aspire, twist betwixt them. Two brothers aspire to top aspire, so that you could sense the poetics here that we're going for. Only one ascends, brother grapples brother. So this is another one of those things that I don't think AI could maybe ever do. I think that this is going to read better. Instead of, look at what we have now, two brothers aspire to top aspire. I think if we just swap them and we go to top aspire, two brothers aspire. It's just changing the order there. And we read it back, you'll see it's better. To top aspire, two brothers aspire. Yeah, that's way better. To top aspire, two brothers aspire. Only one ascends. Brother grapples brother. We need to fix this. This is important. So clash, a brother and a brother. Aspire, twist betwixt them. To top a brother, to aspire. Brother grapples brother. It's a little repetitive. To top aspire, two brothers aspire. Brother grapples brother. We just don't need this one. 4i is nourished, 4i is strong. So they're fighting over the top of the mountain, right? So one of them is they're at the line between light and dark, and they're fighting over who's going to get to remain in the day and who's going to have to succumb to the night. And because this 4i, the good brother, was born at dawn, he is stronger because he's had access to better nutrition throughout his entire life. All right. So 4i is nourished, 4i is famished, 4i is strong. He triumphs over 4-tongue. He forfeits under 4i. So triumphs over, forfeits under, right? So we're looking for some nice language there. Let me raise my feet a little. Okay. 4i triumphs over 4-tongue. 4-tongue forfeits under 4i. We repeat it there. 4i triumphs over his brother, under his brother. 4i ascends top aspire, descends beneath aspire. So let's talk about what's happening here. Two brothers clash and aspire twist between them. Only one of them can go up. They're grappling because one is stronger than the other. He wins. He loses. This guy absolutely Well, what he's going to need to do is going to get to the very top of the pinnacle. Ascends top aspire. We need to make this more beautiful. All right, let's take some notes. Do 1. Opening poem. 2. We need to figure out light's height, dark's depth. Okay. Clash, a brother and a brother. Aspire, twist betwixt them. To top aspire. Two brothers aspire. To top, we don't need brothers here. To aspire. To aspire. To top aspire, to aspire. I see how we're gonna do it now. Only one ascends. Only one ascends. Brother grapples brother. So clash, a brother and a brother. Aspire, twist betwixt them. To top aspire, to aspire. Only one ascends. This is going to be better. Something weird happening with my copy and paste with some of the formatting I did. So I don't know why it's just behaving. It's fine. It's totally doable, but I think you're going to see already that this poem is starting to sound nice. It's starting to sound nice. So this cannot be deleted. I'll read it back to you. So clash. So they're at we end the last myth, they're headed in the same direction, two brothers, okay? Clash, a brother and a brother. Aspire, twist betwixt them. To top aspire, to aspire. One ascends. Brother grapples brother. I need to read it better. To aspire, one ascends. Only one ascends? To top aspire, to aspire, only one ascends. We try only and we try without only. Clash, a brother and a brother. Aspire, twist betwixt them. To top aspire, to aspire, only one ascends. It's just one ascends. It's not only, okay. And these are things that AI could never do. Okay, it's that last bit of rhythm, it's that last bit of poetics, it's that last rhythm that takes just reading it out loud, hearing it hit your ear, and just having that sense of style. You know, like it doesn't have style. And I love AI, right? So I'm pro AI. I'm just letting y'all know that when you're working on a project like this, it just is incapable of those kinds of things. So they both want one thing, right? So and because they both want one thing, they clash. And where they clash, we say aspire, twist betwixt them. And I'm using this literal physical aspire as like a metaphor for any aspiration where two people want one thing and only one person can get it. Now they're going to fight, right? So the 4i is nourished. So this brother was born during the daytime, and the milk during the daytime is really nourishing, whereas the one at night is salty and disgusting. And that has influenced everything subsequently. I can't go back to over-explain that for y'all, but now we're seeing the results of their grappling. So they're grappling. 4i is nourished, 4i is strong, Four Eye triumphs over his brother, over Four Tongue, over his brother. Four Eye ascends atop a spire. So I think we can make it a little bit better here, but it's solid. One is wins because he's had access to more nutrition, and he's stronger now because he's been drinking, sweetened milk. Okay. Four Eye is nourished, Four Eye is famished, Four Eye is strong, Four Eye is frail. So I'm just focused. Four Eye is nourished, Four Tongue is famished, Four Eye is strong. It sounds like a shitty word there because it's so simple, but I actually think it's strong is like the right word here. It's elemental. It's the first battle of strength, really, ever, according to this mythology. Four Tongue is frail. Four Eye triumphs over Four Tongue. Four Tongue forfeits under Four Eye, triumphs over his brother. Does he ascend? For anyone just joining, we are working on mythology here. It's our 7th episode. Come on in. Drop a like if you can. Why not? Costs you nothing. Why not? Descends dark depths. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say here, team. We are going to need to talk about... We need this to be like the most amazing thing and this to be the worst thing possible. That's what we need. So we need to make it sound more beautiful and more shitty based on which brother we're talking about. So atop what is he feeling here? The first feeling he feels. So they're fighting for the top of the spire, right? And one wins, and he gets to the top. He gets to the top, and he gets the most light possible. I think there needs to be a, oh, I get it. There needs to be like a wave of heat, but we already have how to do that. I've been working on these myths all year, and it's time for us to finish them. We're pushing. I was working on them even before that, but some other projects also. We gotta push these next couple weeks, team. I'm feeling the pressure on myself. I want to be a great writer. I really want to be a great writer, and I need to be writing more, and I need to be delivering things. And these myths are just infinitely editable, but at the same time, I think that this is the best version that we've ever had by far. So we gotta lock in. So what's the opposite? A cold. So this is what we're saying here. The good brother wins. He gets to light's height, where he receives a heat, its glow, and he's wrapped by a sun's splendor. On this side, he goes down to the depths. Dark step, the lowest point. A cold, a darkest. And he's wrapped by foul, by forfeit, by pain, suffering. It's not the perfect language. I wonder if, let me ask for a synonym. I'm going to ask AI for a synonym of wrapped, but more negative feeling. Synonym for wrapped. What is a synonym for wrapped, but more negative feeling than odd? I'm using that same project that we built together in episode 4, I think. Okay, it was actually pretty good. Light's height, dark depth, the heat, its glow, far as wrapped. Do we say a sun's splendor or its splendor? I think its is vaguer, but people understand epicenter itself. That's something we're working on. It's always super quiet in this first hour. People still sleep. Ravished. I'm looking for wrapped synonyms here, team. So like something more negative. Wrapped, rapture has an undertone of positivity, of something positive. And this guy is not experiencing anything positive. He's at the literal lowest possible point. This guy's experiencing the pinnacle of, goodness, and the other guy's experiencing the worst. So we could say is ravished. We lose the single syllable here. The four-tongue is ravished. Is there anyone with an F? Because we have a lot of foul forfeit. We can leave it for now. We'll come back today, though. We will come back today. I just don't want to get stuck. I think that this should have a more negative connotation. And let's unpack what we're doing. We have two brothers. One was born in the daytime, and the other was born during the nighttime. And this influences every single thing about their lives. Both of them, as Earth is spinning around, the seasons change, the day changes, and so both of the brothers are trying to stay in the daytime, and they're headed towards the same place, and they clash. And where they clash, a spire twists betwixt them. To top a spire, two aspire, only one ascends. Brother grapples brother, so they're fighting over that one spot at the top. We talk about how Four Eye wins because he's stronger, because he had access to the better milk, right? And he triumphs over his brother. He ascends atop a spire, ascends Light's height. So now Light's height has to be the pinnacle of goodness. And I think we can even use that word pinnacle. What's the opposite of a pinnacle? Okay. I think we can come up with a better word than AI came up with as synonyms for this rapture for the negative. What is he feeling? Is he crushed by the pressure? So here we'll say like pinnacle of goodness, right? And that's obviously placeholder language, but I'm trying to think of the opposite of a pinnacle. I'm thinking maybe crypt. Thinking maybe a crypt here. I got it. A pinnacle of what? It's definitely bright up there. There's also glory up there because he just won this grappling match. But actually, let's try it like this. I feel like these words kind of stand on their own. A pinnacle, a zenith. Those are cool fucking words, honestly. And that is exactly what I'm trying to say. From the very top of the best possible thing, and from the very bottom of the lowest possible place. Now, are we going to repeat it here, though? We use the darkest here. The thing about the dark side is that it is always trending towards singularity and darkness. So it has like a much more singular mind because it's about singularity, which is achieving singularity, versus, you know, the left side, which is the day brother, you know, that has emergent complexity because of light. And so it is going to use new words all the time, whereas oftentimes on this right side, we're using the dark language because it is trying to return everything towards singularity. We could say a black. I don't love it. From dark steps. This is what we're saying here, Tim. There's these two brothers, right? And they fight, and one wins in the grappling match, and the other one loses, right? This is the first time we have winners and losers in all of this world universe, okay? And as a result of his triumph, the good brother gets to ascend to the literal pinnacle, the literal zenith of goodness, the best possible place you can be. Whereas the one who lost has to forfeit and go down, fall beneath the spire where they were fighting to the lowest possible, darkest possible place. And it from the best possible place, the good brother, the brother who won, looks down at his brother's misfortune and he feels compassion. And we're going to say that's the origin of goodness. And whereas the bad brother looks up at his brother from the lowest possible point and feels envy and spite. And that is where we say evil comes from. Okay, team? But right now, what we're trying to do, this is like, we're in the final pass here. We're like 5-6 weeks away from finishing these myths, like for fucking good. These 7 poems that create a mother. And we need it to sound beautiful. Like if I'm telling you that it's like the height of goodness, of like brightness, then I need to find the language for that. It's not enough for me to just say it anymore. We're in the final editing phase where the story is told to the end. We have all 7 myths, but we need to make them actually fucking amazing now. And so that's what we're working on. We're trying to give that feeling of oh, I achieved, I reached the top, I reached the pinnacle. And we need to use language in order to do that. So, let's keep cooking. We're here. Okay. A pinnacle, a zenith, a heat. It's close. So this we pulled from earlier when the sun is loved. From dark steps, a darkest. A darkness. darkens. A darker, a darkest. Huh. And now we need this one. Before tongue is consumed. I want a one-syllable word here. Shit. Otherwise we lose the mirror. You see, this one says wrapped by its splendor. We could use the same word, but it could be good, but let me get the definition for wrapped so I can read it to you. And we'll see if I'm right that it has the inclination. Define wrapped of goodness, which we don't want for this. Means completely fascinated, engrossed, or it actually totally engrossed, extremely happy. Extremely happy. So it has a happiness note, and this has nothing to do with happiness. Okay. We'll come back to that. So this is what we're talking about, an ache, a pain, right? So the compassion aches for I, whereas the good brother from like the top, he's going to get an ache, a yearning. And have you ever felt that, when you feel bad for someone, all of a sudden you want to help them, you feel this sort of ache, this sort of pain, and you want to resolve it by helping them? That's compassion. And it's a real beautiful thing. And this is the origin myth for it. Maybe I should have put that in the title, say origin myth for compassion. And this should be, so we could say a pain, but it could be agony, right? So we need to make this more intense. An ache. I think it's got to be an agony. Especially if we're using an in the other one for more of a mirror here. What if this is wrapped like this? Okay, an agony. Sorry, I get distracted. When I see those yellow things, I want to fix them because I leave notes for myself. But we're doing good here. Perfect day for riding in New York City. Rainy day. I love rainy riding days. I really do. I honestly just like the rain because I'm a loner. And it just feels like everybody's inside with me, and I just am cozied up. I don't know. I like rainy days, and I also like being in the rain. I think now that I'm in New York City, I don't like being in the rain as much because you get that gross drip, from like the different shit you never know. Just getting pigeon poop and shit all kind of mixed in. But otherwise, when I'm in Costa Rica and stuff, I like to be in the rain. I find it very freeing if I'm wearing clothes that, and if my shoes are not going to get ruined. I think that's the one thing that makes me frustrated with the rain is if I'm going to ruin my shoes, because buying shoes sucks and is annoying, for me at least. I know girls like buying shoes, but I don't. Compassion and ache. Compassion aches. Compassion aches him. So this is a little repetitive. We love repetition for an incantatory feeling, but I feel like we need to get deeper into this. An agony. And then we explain what that ache is. Does it gnaw him or does it pain him? I think gnawing, like we're getting a chewing feeling here. I'm not sure that's what we want. It is kind of chewing at him, but I think we want it to be clear that this guy is suffering. Like, even though this brother becomes the bad brother, right? The evil character in this, like, you feel for him because it was never his fault, right? I think there could be one more line to make this a little bit more interesting. We'll explore. Let's explore it. Let's try some things. I don't know what we're gonna try yet, but let's try some things. I think a 3-line stanza is not what we want, but keep in mind that this is a really powerful moment. This is the origin of good and evil, and let me show you what we're going to be saying right after this, and it's going to get really intense. A brother says, "He is my brother. It was only chance. It was only circumstance that he was born at dusk and I was born at dawn." And the other brother says, "It was only circumstance. It was only chance," so inverted, "that he was born at dawn and I at dusk." So they're going to recognize that it was never fair. It was never fair. And we're going to have, and that is why both the reader and the quote unquote good brother feel compassion, because it was never fair. And maybe we could even say that it was never fair, but better language, right? And we can't use it. You know, we have it. Capital IT means a lot in our universe, so we can't use that. It was never fair. How do I say that cool? In like a mythic language, it was never fair. It was never fair. It was never just. It was never fair. Let me think a minute, team. I think that we get that it was never fair when we say only chance, only one circumstance, but we need to be clear about what is paining him and what is aching this guy, right? We need to be more clear. So I'm going to get rid of it was never fair. We can add more drama into the next section if we want. But I don't think actually with the ending here, we need to explain what the compassion, like I just explained to you that he feels compassion for his brother, but we don't explain it here. We need to say like for his brothers, right? Essentially his brother's misfortune. This is not the right language yet, but right. One is looking down, one is looking up. In agony. An ache, compassion aches. Compassion aches him. Can you guys hear the sirens outside? I think my audio settings are good enough that it shouldn't pick it up, but it's really loud for me. It'll pass in a second. It's New York City, you know? Spite pains him. Oh, I think I got it. Just for a second, we could hear Ram Season. Welcome. Step into the Outside In, Ram Season. Thank you so much for joining us bright and early this morning. Well, not bright. It's rainy here, but early this morning. Step into the Outside In. So good to have you here. It's not good. Not good yet. It's not good. So this is what we're saying. We're at the top of light's height. We're at the literal pinnacle of goodness. We're at the literal darkest depth. Okay. So we're at the worst places. One brother looks at his, that's what we need to say. One brother from the top looks down at his brother's misfortune and feels compassion. The other looks up at his brother's fortune versus his and feels agony. So I got it. Watch. I think this might just work the way I just wrote it. I think we may have just did it. All right, an ache. For I beholds his brother's misfortune, compassion aches him. It works. It works. Thing is, sorry, a lot of this stuff is pretty nuanced, but you can follow along. From light's height, he's still at light's height. Do I need to make that clear? From light's height, a pinnacle, a zenith, a heat, its glow, a dark, right? No, this works. All right. I don't want to say brother. I want to say for I. And then I want to say for tongue. And this we need to be very emotional, team. This is a very powerful moment. And I'm going to... Each brother is speaking out loud, looking at his brother and saying, it was only chance, it was only circumstance that I got to be born at dawn and he had to be born at dusk, and the opposite is true. And so this is like them really saying out loud how fucking unfair it was. And so this is a shitty way of starting it. He is my brother, but we need to really improve this now. And it's going to work. So I don't think he says. I don't think they say, but we can come back to that. Let's write what they are saying, and then we can determine. And keep in mind, we could say 4 ICs, right, or 4 Cs and 4 tongue 4 tells, right? That we've teed ourselves up for that. But he is my brother. That's not the first thing he says. So what's the first thing he's going to say? My brother. I have a brother. My brother. What's the first thing he says? He's feeling this compassion, right? Like we're doing the good brother first. He's feeling this compassion. What's the first thing he says? Does he say I am this guy, I am 4I, and he is this? Feels a little slow, but right, we could use, like, we have this template for when celestial beings introduce themselves. You are a son, Arai, he, his self. You come from a mother. Your form is 2 eyes. See, seek yourself. I think we could try that. Let me try this. Well, we're experimenting here, team. This is a very important moment. And keeping in mind, team, we are like 5-6 weeks away from finishing this myth forever, right? All 7 poems. We're locking it, and we're moving forward with releasing an art book. It's time. And so these, like, the obsessing over the word choice here, like, we already finished. This is age 7 of 7, right? We already finished, got to the end of the story. We are just making it pretty now, and that's our job. So, like, obsessing about the language is important. That is the stage of writing that we're at. In some past episodes, we were like just sprinting to the end. In this episode, we are writing very carefully. So we're going to try the celestial body intro that we have, the template. So it goes, I am blank, and then it gives you, I'll show you. Okay, I am Vorta. He, his self. I'm just making sure we're following the same format, and I am a son arise. Okay, that's what we needed. That's the line I was missing. I am. Does he say I am a son, or should he give his name? I think he's gonna give his name. I am 4I. We need one below here. 4I. 4 C's. 4 tongue. 4 tells, he, his self. This is not really. Maybe they say this. Maybe he's a he is, right? We're just experimenting here, team. This is what it really looks like. I think it's cool, but he is 4 tongue. A son arise. He, comma, his self. 4I says he is 4 tongue, a son arise, he, his self. Only chance. Only circumstance. born at dusk. And then the opposite brother would say, right? So talking about his brother, right? So I think this will probably work. And so for this brother, you'll see what I do these, I think it's cool. Only circumstance, only chance, right? So instead of having it repeat, it's inverted, right? So instead of on the left side, it's only chance, only circumstance. On the right side, it's only circumstance, only chance. They experience everything inverted. This is okay, but there's I think potential for something even a little more powerful. Let me look at it one more time. Four Eyes says he is he is Four Eye, a sun arise. That's a word we could potentially do better. He himself, only circumstance, chance. He born at dusk. Now, do we say like? I think arise is not doing enough for us. What if one is blessed and one is accursed? I still need that way of saying that it was never fair in mythic language. But this is pretty good, actually. Before it was very unclear why he was feeling compassionate, why he was feeling agony, right? Why the ache of compassion versus the agony of envy and spite. And now they're speaking, they're saying, he's talking about his brother. He is for tongue. Oh no, we need this is actually switched because he's talking about his brother, a son accursed. Two C's. This works. I like it. Okay. This is where... So what's interesting is when you're writing myth, like when you're at the end of your project here, trying to wrap it up and put it out. On one hand, it's cool because you have like the end in sight. On the other hand, all the stuff that's left is kind of the hardest stuff. But we'll get through it. I'm going to New Orleans this week, this weekend for a writing retreat. So I'm going to get a lot done. I'm going to be reading it out loud a lot, really getting some feedback. So it's time to ship this project. So this is what happens here, team. From Light's height, from the best possible place, one brother gets compassion. From the lowest possible place, the other brother gets spite, right? That's good and evil. They talk about how it was never fair, only chance and only circumstance that went about it. So, but now they're going to take action based on the pain, right? So, Four Eye is going to go try to redeem his brother. To relieve that ache, he wants to help his brother, right? On the other hand, Ford Tongue, the other brother wants relief from the agony that he's experiencing. And so we need to make that more clear. And he's going to try to commit suicide. I shouldn't say that word, apparently. Not that the algorithm would ever kind of scoop this up right now in the way that I've optimized it, but if you use that word, apparently, you will get demonetized and deprioritized. Four Eye forgoes himself, Four Tongue forsakes himself to redeem his brother. Let's pick this up. Let's do a quick break. It's been an hour and I'm out of water and I'm a little thirsty, and so it's a good moment to take a break. I also have a breakfast burrito outside my door. I should take a bite out of it. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Talk soon. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Let's lock in. So I'll show you where we were at. So from the top, from the height of goodness, one brother sees his brother and decides to go try to redeem him. Four goes. Is that good enough? He puts his own needs aside. Do we make it more clear that he's trying to relieve the ache of compassion, find relief from that? For I forgoes himself, forsakes himself. So this one brother is going to be like going into the darkness, into a night to try to save his brother. This guy is going to try to commit suicide by jumping out into space, like into the darkness of space. And welcome back to anybody new here. I'm E.I. Werner, Innkeep here at the Outside Inn. It's a writing live stream. It's also a destination, a place for people to, between where they've been and where they dream of going. So step in, get comfortable. We've got some tunes. I'm gonna do some writing. You don't have to be as focused as me. You could just relax. I'll stay locked in, and I'm gonna try to get this, out for you all in the next few weeks here, finished. I'd say like 6 to 8 weeks. For I forgoes his self, to relieve his ache, to relieve his agony, to redeem his brother, to escape his self. I'm trying to make it clear that they're going to be like ships passing in the night, right? So the good brother who is at the top of the pinnacle of goodness is now going down, right? He's descending the spire, right, into the night to try to save his brother, to redeem his brother. But the other brother who's already at dark's depths, he's already at the lowest point. He's trying to go low. He's going lower than that, right? He's escaping Earth, a mother, right? He's leaving that orbit entirely. Okay, that actually works. I'm not sure relieve is the best word, but it'll do for now. Works with redeem, right? So they're going to be like ships passing in the night, right? One brother is going down into the night where the other brother used to be. And, oh, wait, we should use the same language then. Beneath dark. Dark step is going to be darker than night. We want to end on the most powerful one. How y'all doing today? Anyone having a good week? Anyone having a shit week? How's it popping? What's cooking? Beneath or below? Below. So now they're both about to be on the verge of death here. This guy's being blinded by night. He can't see anything, and the darkness is devouring him. This guy jumped out into space trying to kill himself and is being frozen and compressed out there. So I don't like relieve, actually. This needs to... I think 4-Eye is blind is too passive. I think we can make it more active. I'll show you how. Instead of 4-Eye is blind, so we say something blinds him, right? You always want to go for the active language. Darkness blinds 4-Eye. We could even say night blinds 4-Eye. Then obviously we need the mirror. Now we're repeating ourselves here. We need to end this strong. The ending of this one that tees us up for this myth 7 of 7 is like they're both about to die. Then a mother saves them at the very beginning of the next myth, but at the end of this myth, they're both dying. They're being devoured by darkness. Has to be a night. It's just too repetitive. We just gotta fix it. It's kind of cool. Stills as a verb, like making it still. Keep in mind that we use that still very powerfully in a lot of these myths. For example, we start this one with still, and we end this one with still. So when we're using it as a verb, stills, it will hum with the same frequency of the ones that we've already written. Keep in mind it's one myth that's made of 7 poems, okay? And each of the poems is very short, so it's not a hard read. It's muscular and dense, the language, but it's short. A lot happens. We create the whole universe in it's fewer than 2,000 words. It's less than a college essay, Okay. So let's get back to it. We were here at the end here. What we're trying to work on is this. One of the brothers, the good brother, who feels compassion, leaps into a night, into the darkness to save his brother. The other brother leaps out into like the space of Earth, like outside of Earth's orbit, trying to kill himself to escape his agony. And now we're ending this myth 6 of 7. I mean, with them both being about to die, essentially being swallowed by singularity. And then this one's going to start with a mother saving them. So we need to kill them properly here. So they both go ahead and they both descend. I remember now. We did the stills as a verb. That actually works really nice. A darkness darkens, a darkness devours for that works, bro. We just did it. It's really good, really good. Yeesh, that's good actually. Stills is good. Really harkens back to those older myths. Okay. So let's see what we cooked up today. See what fixes we need. Look how short all this stuff ends up being. Like when we write with this level of intensity on every word, look how much we can accomplish. Like we start this myth, clash a brother and a brother, right? So we end this myth, the two brothers are headed towards each other. We start this myth, they clash, a spire twist between them and they fight. One is stronger, one is weaker, so this one wins. At the very top of his glory and pinnacle of happiness, he sees his brother with compassion. Emily, love when you're loving it. I appreciate that, Emily. I'm gonna step into the outside in. So good to have you here, really. Means a lot, and thank you for all the support this week. Means a lot. Emily, we are going for it here. I'm done. I've been working on these myths all year. It's time. We're going out, you know. I would say 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. Final written draft. I'm going to New Orleans this weekend for a writing retreat. I'm going to be reading it every day. I'm going to be writing it every day. We're going to be getting tons of feedback. Like all we're doing is writing. We're putting our phones aside. So it's time, you know. We need to be decisive. We need to work hard. We're not rushing it, but we need to be decisive, if that makes sense. No more lingering. Like I could edit this stuff infinitely, but now we're just turning all these, right? So we together over the last couple of weeks, we got to the end, and now we're doing the poetic language. So we're really kind of obsessing about different language, but it's going really well. And this stills as a verb is really a nice breakthrough for us. I think it really works. Okay, let's read what we got here. Clash, a brother and a brother. Aspire, twists betwixt them. To top aspire, to aspire. Only one ascends. Brother grapples brother. It's a little awkward here. To top aspire, to aspire. I think we could make it better like this. Okay. To top aspire, to aspire. Brother grapples brother. Yeah, it has better rhythm. Four eye is nourished, four tongue is famished. So this is fail. Four eye triumphs over four tongue. Four tongue forfeits under four eye. These ones are a little tougher to read out loud just because they go back and forth. It's supposed to have two different readers. I wish I had someone else here to potentially read with me, but triumphs over his brother, forfeits under his brother, descends. All this is really good. Okay, we need to figure this out. We need to decide this wrapped word. We don't need to move. We can't move on until we do. Let's just decide what we're going to do. Emily, so the issue with this word wrapped is that like the word wrapped and rapture has an undercurrent of a positive emotion because people use it in a contemporary sense to be like, I'm so engrossed in this, and it's a really positive sort of engrossed focus. And this is supposed to be a negative language, but we want it to be one syllable. We don't want it to be multiple syllables. So we tried ravished. Essentially, he's pained, right? He's stuck. He's attacked. He's pressured. He's poisoned. But it is in a moment. So he's like awed and like completely consumed by how good it is. And then the other guy needs to be like the exact opposite, like completely engrossed, but by how terrible it is, right? He's like overcome, you know. but the mirror does kind of work, like in the sense of like they're doing the same verb but having different experiences of it. Like that could still work. Wrapped. All right, we keep it for now. It's killing me. Okay, what do we say about says? Four eye says, four tongue says. How is he saying, right? This guy's complaining. So we're just going to put this guy's complaining. This guy is thinking, so each brother is talking about his other brother, and he's saying it's not fair. It was never fair. One of them feels compassion and one of them feels envy. We could go like this. Later, we're going to have them use four eye, four C's, and four eye, four tongue, four tails. So it's going to be really clean. But that doesn't come until this next myth. So let's see if we just use the tail. Does that work? Four eye C's. Yeah. He is four tongue, a son, accursed. He himself, only chance, circumstance. He, born at dusk. Me, born at dawn. He is for I, a son, a blessed. He himself, only circumstance, only chance. He born at dawn, me born at dusk. Relieve is not the right word. Here, let's think about it. Let me look at a thesaurus. Guys, all writers use thesaurus. There are so many quotes about it. You can Google it if you don't believe me. It is a tool everybody should be using. Every writer should use. Okay, so relieve synonyms. Like, you want to use the best word, so that's what you should be motivated by. Allay, alleviate, assuage, calm, comfort, cure, diminish, ease, free, relax, soothe, subdue, abate, appease, break, brighten. Huh. He wants to be Jesse Matthew, top of the morning to you. Step in to the outside in. It is beyond good to have you here. Most supportive possible Innsider this week, really showing up when I was getting sick and having a hard time. So shout out Jesse Matthew. I appreciate you. Thank you for stepping in. I was explaining to Emily, who was up before you, my guy, that we are like, I would say 6 to 8 weeks from just being done with this. Like, I need to be done. I could edit this infinitely. That's what Tolkien ended up. Tolkien made a similar mythology, but he never released it. It was the first project Tolkien ever started, was a mythology for his fantasy world, Middle Earth, and he never finished it. It was his kids who had to publish it because he was editing it his whole life, and he decided to shift gears. I'm learning from, not his mistake, but from his experiences. And I am going to finish. I'm going to ship. So it's time. And I'm going to NOLA this weekend. Unfortunately, I'll be missing Emily in New York just for a writing retreat. So we're really just going to be there. I'm just looking at thesaurus, thesaurus.com for words for relief, something better. Mollify, no. Does he want to ease? What does allay mean? Reduce something, usually a pain or a problem. To allay his ache is good, actually, because we have 2 A's. Let's try it. Yeah, I like it. Now, this one has to do, should be having to do with escaping. You know, this one should have to be doing with, like, he's not looking for relief. He's looking for escape. His whole life has been agony. His whole life has been dog shit, by no fault of his own. And it was only chance and only circumstance. And he got the short end of the stick, the shortest end. And so he wants an escape. So let's do an escape thing. And I'm just on thesaurus.com here, team. Escape synonyms: breakout, departure, desert. We may just go escape. Sometimes the word that you're trying to look for the fancy one might just actually be it, to escape his agony. How, but I just use it here. Shit. But we have talked about how this right side, is always trending towards singularity. And so it repeats words because it's always going towards the same thing, which is all dark, right? Whereas on the left side, we have emergent complexity and we get new words, new verbs, new ideas. On the right side, like to escape his agony, to escape his self, I actually think is not bad. I actually think it's nice. Because if you say to escape his agony, to escape his self, you're saying that his self is agony, right? And that's true. His whole life has been pain. All right. A night blinds for eye, darkness stills for tongue. Oh, Jesse Matthew, you're gonna love this. We use, you know how we have used still a bunch. We end a chapter in age with it, and then we'll start the next one. It's how a darkness goes. We found a way, we use it as a verb here for the first time. Stills for tongue. So like for tongue leaps out of space trying to commit suicide, leaves a mother, relieves Earth, and is being devoured by the darkness. And the parallel to blinds when for is stills. And I thought that was a nice solution. So team, we accomplished. So if we go back to our objectives at the very, isn't it sick, Jesse Matthew? Like I think when I did it just today, Emily was here and during it, and I was like, wow, that's actually good. If we scroll up, I already just finished these objectives for today. We're going to keep going. I still have energy. It is the 7th episode after all, but we did accomplish both of our goals already. And how many hours have we been going? 2 hours. And I would say usually when I wake up early, so I've been waking up early to write before work my whole life. As long as I've been working, I've been waking up early to write at least 4 days a week. So this 7:07 time is really just my normal process. And usually I would say I do a 75-minute to a 90-minute session in the morning. It's not as long as these. So 2 hours, like to accomplish my goals that I set the night before, usually takes around this time, around 2 hours, usually a little bit less because I don't take a break or something. I'm not talking as much. But if you set the goals the night before and you wake up and you just start hitting them right away, you'd be surprised at how much progress you can make. Okay, let's see where we are. What should I work on next? I already beat my goal, so I didn't have something teed up. I mean, obviously there's so many things we can work on, but I didn't expect to finish our goals so quickly. I'm removing this. I actually think wrapped is okay. All right, let's head into the last myth. And just a reminder that the last myth is the one that we just push through to the end, because you just got to get to the end, right? You just got to get to the end, see what you actually have. So we end this myth 6 of 7. Let's do a recap. Okay. watch this. And there's something changes I need to make. I can zoom out here. Let me, because we're not actively writing, we're reviewing. Okay, so I want to put these in age 1/7 so people can always know where we are. So we start age 1. Remember, this is 1 myth, 7 ages. That's what we're calling the poems, ages. Age 2/7. So the first one is undifferentiated darkness, right? There's no verbs in this. It's just in undifferentiated darkness, unchanging, unmoving. Age 2, we get a light self-creates. We get a divine sort of entity here that loves to exist and emerge in complexity, but we get a black hole who tries to swallow it, wants to return back to the singularity. Then we have, from the center, at the center of the black hole is like a seed. Everything was condensed into a primordial atom. And then we get the Big Bang. And then we have the sun, once it comes out of the Big Bang, sacrificing its immortality to bestow 6 children, the planets. And the reason being that the only way to avoid being swallowed by darkness, the space which surrounds all of them, is to behold and be held, right? We talked about how if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to hear it, we are arguing that it makes no sound. It makes no sound, that perceiving is an essential part of reality rendering. Now today, what we worked on here, Emily, and I think you might like this, is instead of ending on cannot claim us, we tee ourselves up for the next myth, introducing a mother without introducing her yet. So it says, 6 children a son bestows of itself, one unlike her brothers, right? So that's the first time we have a her here. She, the only daughter of a sun itself, a sun beholds itself glimmering in her sweet waters. So now when you get the she shivers start here, there's a little bit of a tee up and a little bit of an excitement to be introducing a feminine entity and also a gendered entity. Prior to this, we have only had epicenity itself. We've been ungendered. We've been beyond gender. Okay, so now we can go like this. This one's age. Let's go, girl. Love it, right? At 4/7. But she also feels a lot of pressure at her being the only daughter, like that's a lot of pressure for her. And she ends up, and let's talk about it. So she starts off shivering, right? She's in a cold abyss. At once she feels the love of the sun. And we have a beautiful little poem here. Behold, child, I hold you. Beheld, child, I behold you. Beloved, beloved, I love you. And I think this is going to be a beautiful chorus for a little song that I'll probably make with my buddy Carson. I think it's a really nice little poem there. She asks, so they go back and forth talking about who they are, and ultimately she comes back around after one solar orbit. She grows, she's a year older. She beholds, let's see what I say. She beholds the sun is all fire, all aglow, whereas she is half shadow, right? So she is seeing her imperfections. She's comparing herself to a sun. A sun is epicenity itself, me, merely me, she herself. So a sun is beyond gender. She is gendered. A dying sun is a glow, merely me, a glimmer, a shadow, right? So I'm half shadow and half glimmering, and I'm not making my own light. A dying sun is dying, me, merely me, alone, alive. And Emily, this is where we're talking about that pressure of being like the only daughter. I think, it's a lot of pressure being a daughter just generally, especially if you're the only one. So then she twirls to escape her shadow, and we talked about how that's the horizontal rotation.
She weeps, she cries, and this is how we get the salt water that then clashes with the sweet water, where the shadow and the glimmers clash to get us some light, to get life. Two suns at the edge and at the dawn and the dusk, and then we move into our the brothers so they're born here, and she becomes a mother, right? A son and a son, and this is where we start to get the split. This is where we start to get the split. Okay. Now we can zoom in. Okay. So she wants her sons to drink of her, and she tells them to look at their reflections. And what both of them, the one who's in the daytime gets to see a beautiful reflection, and the one that's in the nighttime only sees a darkness and believes that he is a darkness. I think we can work on that. Let me finish with these ages here, and then I think we can work on that. And what's cool is that, so it's one myth made of 7 poems, right? But we call the poems ages. And because Earth is the protagonist, it's kind of like her different age, like she is getting older, age. So it has double entendre. It got multiple meanings there. It's got some depth. So I chose age after a while. I always want all the stories to be like packs of 7, because 7 is our immortal number. And so age, I really think, was the right call. Okay, let's work on the ending here of this one. That I've never felt good about it yet. Of this one or the next one, or the one before it. The one before it. Okay. All right. So let me take you to what we're working on now. Sorry for that review. Usually, I didn't expect that I would still have juice and we'd have finished our writing goals. So here we go. Mother says, look at my waters and see your reflection, to her sons. Okay. And the son, who's in the daytime, sees a beautiful reflection glimmering, sees he's beautiful. And the one who's in the darkness, because there's no light, sees that he is a darkness. Now, what ultimately happens is that one of them, this guy, the one on the left, the good brother, he takes his 2 eyes. He's just a son with 2 eyes. Both of them we've introduced as having 2 eyes. He takes his 2 eyes and he figures them into 4 eyes. He makes 2 more. This guy takes his 2 eyes and he splits them in half. He disfigures himself. He'll never see again. And I haven't nailed this. I have not nailed this yet. So we need to make it clean. And that's what we're going to do. But this idea of disfigurement is extraordinarily important. We're talking about how it was never fair. It was never fair. Okay. One was born at dawn. One was born at dusk. They had identical forms, each brother. Okay. Twins. One brother, as a result of his life, he has 2 eyes. He wants 4 eyes. Let me see more good shit. Unfortunately, the brother who is unfortunate disfigures his eyes because he's so ashamed of his reflection and he's so terrified, to 4 tongues, and he'll never be able to see. And it's this idea that certain misfortunes can disfigure you forever in a way that is not fair. It's not a temporary pain. It is a permanent disfigurement. So this is a very important part, and I rushed through it last stream, and I actually haven't revisited it, and I didn't put it on my goals today. So this feels like a good one. You see my form is 2 eyes, right? So we already have the 2 eyes set up, 2 eyes to see. I see I am beautiful. So now what I'm trying to say here is that, like, look, we've invented cosmogonically, that's the word. We've invented the solar orbit and we've invented the horizontal axial rotation. Now, as she's spinning, like if you stay still, it's going to turn night. Does that make sense? You're not going to be able to stay in the day. And so this is what the brothers are going to need to move, right? They're both going to need to move, and they're both going to move towards the light. And I need to indicate by the end of this that they're on their way towards the same place, Now, we could end it. There's two ways to end it. We could end it with his disfigurement, or we could end it with them seeking. We'll see. Let's write it. Okay, let me think though. Okay, so we have them seeing their reflections here, team. So we just talked about how the guy who saw his reflection in the darkness thinks he's a darkness and is ashamed and is afraid. And here I wrote, she dances, twirls, day turns to dusk. I kind of like that. Day turns to dusk, night turns to dawn. I kind of like that. But what we should do here is we like to invert when we can. So here we would say she twirls, dances. All right. So remember that in this myth we were working on today, the brother on the left says only chance, only circumstance. The brother on the right switches the order. Only circumstance, chance, right? Because everything is inverted, right? And that's poetic use of, it's just poetic. And I'm trying to highlight these things for you so you can see how I'm thinking about it. It's structurally poetic. That's what I was looking for. Structurally poetic. Okay. That's not what we're working on. We're working on this. She twirls, dances, night turns to dawn. We need to say, I don't think that's the right order. I see what we need. Like the second after he sees the reflection, that's when the disfigurement needs to happen. Okay. They see their reflection. A sun figures his two eyes to four eyes. A sun disfigures his two eyes to four tongues. Nice. Why? One is looking more good, right? And one wants less bad. This is important too. A sun figures his two eyes to four eyes. A sun disfigures his two eyes to four tongues. It's not working yet. We're not far, but it's not working yet. Sun figure 2 eyes to 4 tongues. So you'll see what we're going to play with here is where the word, whatever the sentence ends, that's where the next one begins. 2 eyes, okay? I think I may have gotten it. Watch. I don't think we end with the dancing. I think we dance in the next myth. I can rewrite this. I can just delete it. I know how to do it. Okay. It's not too precious. I want the note though. So we'll put this here as a little note. There you go. Okay, that's a little weird though. I don't need it. We move them. We don't get held back. Okay. These are all dead to me. Okay, I think we did it, fam. I think we did it. A sun figures his 2 eyes to 4 eyes to seek more and more sweet. A sun disfigures his 2 eyes to 4 tongues. We need a match here. 4 tongues to seek less salt. So, you know, if all you've known is goodness and fortune, you're going to want to see more of it, and you're going to want and you're going to be motivated to go towards where it's brightest. On the flip side, if all you've known is pain, all you know is how to do is run, right? To flee, to escape the salt. So, and it's sad, right? So if that one wants more of what they've lived and the other wants less. But this is pretty fucking clean, Tim. A sun figures his 2 eyes to 4 eyes to seek more sweet. And you see how each line, 2 eyes, it ends 2 eyes, then you get 2 eyes here. It ends 4 tongues, you get 4 tongues here. It ends less, you get less here. And so you get that nice rhythmic cadence. Okay, what do we want to work on next? We're kind of just banging shit out right now. Like, we already finished our writing goals. That was just something separate. I usually set clear writing goals the night before, but we already finished them and I still have juice. So what should we work on now? Okay, I think actually we have to work on this because now that we've changed this a little bit, we may need. We actually don't. This is still a clean start. I was thinking maybe we go in here and say she dances, twirls, right, and then a day turns to night. Day turns to dusk. Let's just see how it goes. I don't think we need it, but and we can call her a mother because we haven't in this one. I don't think we need it. These guys one is seeking more sweet, one is seeking less salt. It makes sense. They're just going to clash here. Now, I wonder if in this myth we do want to show time passing. I think we probably do. Team, I think I may call it. I did all the writing goals, and I don't want to just be like looking for something good to work on. I want to do it right, and be able to work alongside y'all. But we kind of banged our stuff out. Nice 2-hour sesh to kick off the day. We're so close, team. Look at this. Look how little yellow. All right. We need no yellow. And I'm hoping this weekend, reading the whole thing all the way through, we should make a lot of progress. I'll chill for a second around. If anybody's in the chat, say what's up. A bunch of people just hopped off once I said that. But I'll stick around a minute if anybody has any questions, if anybody wants to talk about stuff. Say what's up. I'll calculate the words now. Make an update the word counts. Let me get word counter up. It looks like everybody's hopped off, so we'll call it. Godspeed, everybody. Good fortune. We'll hang soon.